comment,
and subscribe for more content.
Where's the notification bell?
It's to the right of you.
Oh.
What's up, guys? It's DK Wrestler here from a Funko Podcast, and in today's video, I'm going to be talking about what Crash Bandicoot Funko Sodas Funko should make next. But before that happens, make sure you press the subscribe button for more content like this video in the future, and press the little bell beside it to be notified of when that future content gets released. But anyways, guys, let's check it out. So like I said, in today's video, I'm going to be talking about the Crash Bandicoot Funko Sodas, more specifically what I think that Funko should make next for this lineup of Funko Sodas. Of course, a lot of people really like Funko Sodas, and these kind of videos I do during our 5 days of content on whatever fandom it is for the fandom related podcast usually do very well in terms of views, and you guys seem to like them, so I keep continuing them, and this is for Crash Bandicoot. Now, of course, there is only one Crash Bandicoot Funko Soda, which essentially is just Crash Bandicoot himself as the common, and then essentially the Chase is a golden skin variant. Now, I wanted to mention two things before we begin this video. Number one, I want to take into account that during this video, I will be doing like my prediction for like a limited piece on what each of these Funko Sodas that I want to happen would have, with the highest being 12,500, because that is the limited piece for the Crash Bandicoot Funko Soda, and because Crash Bandicoot, of course, is the main character of the series, I couldn't see them making a character that has a higher piece count than Crash Bandicoot, so the highest piece count used will be 12,500. Another thing that I want to take into account is that although these are Funko Sodas that I want to see be made by Funko next, I did add some realism to it as terms to, I want to see these, but I think it'd be more realistic if this happens instead of, let's say, I make the Chase like this and the common like this. So without further ado, let's check out the 5 different Funko Sodas that I have listed here for what I want to see Funko make next. So first of all, for this Crash Bandicoot lineup, the first name I have listed here is, of course, Coco Bandicoot, the sister of Crash Bandicoot. I feel like there definitely has to be a Funko Soda made of her, and I think it'd be a pretty big seller too, especially as a common, and let's not make it like a Comic-Con or even normal exclusive Funko Soda. So for this soda, I have it listed as 12,500 pieces because I think it would sell as much as the Crash Bandicoot, and Coco pretty much plays a significant role as terms to a reoccurring character in the series, especially since her debut in the second game, so it definitely makes sense that Funko should make a Funko Soda of Coco Bandicoot herself. And for the Chase, I have it simply as Flocked, and that's mainly because there's not really much you can do with Coco. The mold they did with the Funko Pop already, where she has the computer, I feel like would essentially be the same mold they have for the Funko Soda, and there's not really much you can do besides if she did some of her martial arts, but I feel like with Funko Sodas, they don't change the exact molding of the actual character. Up next on my list is Aku Aku, and now you're probably thinking, how would this be able to happen? Because Aku Aku, of course, is a wooden mask. He's pretty hollow because he's a mask, so how would they pull that off in a Funko Soda figure? I think the way that they would do the Funko Soda figure is kind of make like a huge oversized mask, essentially, kind of like the Funko Pop, but on it as terms to making it the weight of a normal Funko Soda figure. They would put some sort of like big platform, like maybe like a tiki platform, and then have like a clear kind of stand to kind of separate the mask from that stand to show that you can get the soda figure of Aku Aku and it's not on the normal clear stand that the Funko Pop would be on. It has its own uniqueness to it. You would have some sort of cool thing behind the mask, and it's not just here's the mask, here's a clear stand. You have something else added to it, and I think it'd be really cool. The Chase I have for this is simply what I'm gonna call the fall color Aku Aku, and of course what I mean by that, of course, and you probably see the photo on the right side of me right here, is simply when you play Crash Bandicoot and of course you spin and you break the box that has Aku Aku's name on it, you have Aku Aku with you as kind of like your added health, so to speak. but when you hit the box twice, of course, he changes a different color where he has the different fall colors of red, yellow, and orange. And that's all I feel like they would do for this, because if I were to choose it, and it'd be kind of unrealistic though, it would be cool if you got Aku Aku as the common, and then the chase is his twin brother Uka Uka. I think that'd be wicked, but adding the realism to this, I feel like it'd be easier for Funko, if they already have a hard time making this as a soda figure, just to do a color swap. And it makes sense because of what I said about the hitting the box the second time, and it already has the different fall colors to make the chase figure a fall color chase. And I also forgot to mention for this is that I have this limited as 12,500 pieces. Up next, I have listed down Dr. Neo Cortex, which I have this limited as 12,000 pieces. The reason I have it as 12,000 pieces is because, one, for this list, I didn't want to make a bunch of these sodas all being a huge limited piece count of 12,500. I want to basically spread out the different piece counts for this. Plus, I feel like for a villain, a lot of times they do make the piece counts a little smaller than, I guess, the hero piece counts. Like for the Ninja Turtles, I'm pretty sure even though Shredder was 12,500 pieces, you have the characters like Bebop and Rocksteady, I'm pretty sure, that are 10,000. So I feel like for this case with Dr. Neo Cortex, you can make them a little less, but pretty close to the normal piece count that you would see with Crash Bandicoot, and essentially what I'd mentioned of Coco and Aku Aku, if that were to be the case. Definitely makes sense for Funko to make a soda figure of Dr. Neo Cortex because he appears frequently throughout the series. He is pretty much the main antagonist of the series anyways, so why not make a figure of him? Now this was a little tough because I had a couple of different ideas, but I think in the end I had decided that I feel like the chase would just simply be a facial expression change. So for the common, you can just have him kind of like a little mellow, but then for the chase you have kind of like that diabolical evil smirk of his face there. Essentially the mold would be the same, where maybe it's kind of like the Funko Pop, where essentially he has his weapon in his hand, and then maybe he has a mellow face for the common, but then for the chase, you essentially have that evil diabolical face. So when people look at it, and maybe they're not looking at the front yet, they'll be like, okay, I don't know if I have the common and the chase, and when they flip it around, and if they see that facial expression, they're like, yes, I got the chase. So I think that definitely makes sense, so that Funko doesn't have to change the mold, but they kind of change it in a way where the chase slightly looks better than the common, and people would rather want to get the chase rather than the common. Up next, I have listed down Dr. Engine, and I think this would be a really cool character as a Funko Soda figure, considering that Funko has not made any, I guess, products yet of Engine, whether it's Funko Pop, Funko Soda, or even the little minifigures they did for Crash Team Racing. They never did Engine. They did do Riparoo, they did do the Polar Bear and Nitrous Oxide. They never made Engine yet, and I feel like Engine is a really cool character already that should be made into a Funko Pop, and I think he would look really cool as a Funko Soda. I have this limited to 10,000 pieces, and I definitely think that makes sense because he is kind of frequently in the series, but he's not in it as much as Dr. Neo Cortex, and Neo Cortex is more well known, I guess, than essentially Dr. Engine. So I think making Engine's limited piece count lower definitely makes sense. And for the chase, I have it as a blacklight chase. Now, I feel like a lot of villain sodas, such as Mojo Jojo and some of the Ninja Turtles ones, they already get blacklight chases, so it makes sense if they continue that trend of essentially villains getting blacklight chases. And blacklight chases definitely make sense for Crash Bandicoot overall because of the fact that if you play Crash Team Racing, you have the different skin colors, and I have an example of one I would like to see if they were to do the blacklight engine, where it's kind of green and purple, I'm pretty sure. So doing different skin colors makes sense, and I think the colors would look nice, especially as a blacklight figure, and it's already shown off in Crash Team Racing, so realistically it does make sense in that aspect. And last but not least, I have the fifth and final Funko Soda I have listed down, and it is of Riparoo. Now, I know a lot of people don't generally, I guess, really like Riparoo in a sense, and he's not really shown that often. He's kind of one of the more, like, easier villains to beat in the Crash Bandicoot series, but he has that overall look into which he would look so cool as a Funko Pop, but he would look even better as a Funko Soda figure. Now for Riparoo, I do have this listed at a very low piece count of 6,000 pieces, and that's because Riparoo, although he is somewhat popular, he doesn't appear as frequently as a lot of the different villains, such as Engine, like I mentioned, Dr. Neo Cortex, even Tiny Tiger appears more frequently. So it definitely makes sense to have a low piece count like 6,000 pieces, and I wouldn't be surprised if the case was for the soda, if it were to be made, is for it to be a Comic-Con exclusive. Now for the Common and the Chase, I kind of went a little out there with this, because I feel like with Riparoo, he would have a really cool chase, and you would want the Common and the Chase. So for the Common, it's just normal Riparoo, where you can even have the eyes where it is essentially like yellow, and then you have the swirls in it, and you have the tongue sticking out and everything. But for the Chase, I made it his appearance in number 2, where essentially he is wearing the mustache and the top hat. I think that'd be really cool, and I think he has a different outfit also, where essentially it's still his like white straight jacket, except it's black this time, so you're not really changing the mold too much. Funko would just be adding pieces to it, and I think it'd be really cool to see a Funko Soda Chase like that, and I'd be definitely all for it, because Riparoo is one of my favorite villains in Crash Bandicoot. But anyways, guys, that's going to be the end of today's video. If you enjoyed today's video about Funko Soda figures I want to see next for the Crash Bandicoot lineup, make sure you smash that like button, comment in the comment section below, and let me know what you want to see next as terms to Funko Sodas for the Crash Bandicoot lineup. And like I said earlier, press the subscribe button for more content like this video in the future, and press the little bell beside it to be notified of when that future content gets released. But anyways, guys, thank you for watching today's video, and hope to see you guys next time. 1, 2, 3, I'm out of here. Follow us on all of our social media platforms on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at A Funko Popcast. If you want to check out some of our other content that's featured on our channel, you can click either the playlist that's on your screen right now featuring previous episodes of our weekly podcast, A Funko Popcast, or we have suggested a video for you guys in relation to today's video.